Okay, today is the day that I'm going to start building a frame up around that cabin. And then what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be running it, a frame, probably around here somewhere, up to about here to there. And that is for the toilet wall. Okay, so the toilet's going here, and that frame is going here. What I'm going to be doing is using 70 by 35mm pine studs untreated. Now to hold these down, I'll be using timber screws, battens, 14 gauge by 65 long. So they go into the board here, but they don't penetrate outside here. Okay, bought from Bunnings. Because this floor, when the van is on solid ground, isn't flat, it makes it very hard to put a frame up that's dead square. So what I done is I used some bricks. After calculating the length of my spirit level, I managed to find I was having about 70 to 75 millimeter drop over the wheelbase. So I put some bricks under there to get out of this trouble. Because the design of this van is a bit different than a Mercedes Sprinter, I had to bring the wall back from the passenger seat and the middle seat a fair way. That is the first base done. Okay, going up, that is the fuse box I mentioned to you about. I haven't finished it yet. I've got to put some noggins across very soon. The next one I will be doing the toilet, which is a little bit easier. You will notice I used the original bolt holes in the frame and made some clamps up and screwed it to the studs. You can't get it any stronger than that. This is the meter box opened, and what I've done is I've made some brackets with two 6mm holes tapped down the bottom. This will have an L-shaped little plate on, so I can put a length of tongue and groove across to cover that gap up. That's the frame done basically, that divides the driver and passenger section to the home, I call it. I had to stagger the walls because the seat stuck out too much. Those two compartments under the fuse box, the left one is for the fire extinguisher, and the left one, or right one should I say, is for the first aid box and whatever else we can fit in there, I suppose. I'm going to be doing the toilet now, and the fun begins. Okay, this is the tray, or the tub, or whatever you like to call it, that goes into the toilet. Now, it's very important here. If you see this area here, this is where that box slides into. Now, as you can see over here, this is way too high, so that has to be cut down. Okay, if you haven't noticed already by what I've been showing you, you can see that I've cut some out. Okay, it's actually this piece here. I've cut this piece off, and a little bit lower, which is here. I've already painted it. I did this yesterday actually, and I've also got another piece of 17mm ply to raise this up, because if you can see now, this face is higher than here. So when you pull it out, it's not going to hit on that. What I'll be doing first will be the service door for the toilet, which you see outside. These are the parts. That's the sliding door with the locks on. Then you have these two plastic pieces. Then you've got this piece here. Okay, now if you remember, I bought some white Colorbond steel when I was stripping the van down. This is what's left of it, or some of it anyway. Now these two shapes, one of them gets put into here and the other one gets put into here. They get glued down. Just a kind reminder, these two plastic things act like a hinge. They get put into here and then the door will come onto it and they get put into here. So it's advisable to remove those so you can work on this piece of the van, because it's got to be cut out, the whole of the van, and you don't want this getting in the way. So take out the hinges. I would strongly suggest that you read the instructions for this first, because it's pretty intricate. Just read it, get used to it, then maybe follow my way. It's entirely up to you, because every van is different. I'll be using this glue for a change. I've heard it's been pretty good, and so far it seems to be living up to its name. What I've done is I've glued this one in. I put those metal clamps around it too, which gets pushed into these holes here. I've also sealed this one, but I'm going to give it another little piece of seal because it's important to keep this watertight. Then I will put that one onto this one. This is what it's like when it's all finished and pushed on together. As you can see, it's all put together nicely. You can't even see the clips. Now we have to start marking out for the van hole. This is a template of the size of the hole that I will be placing here. The pencil mark is the center of the toilet where it will be going. So what I need to do is to put my template up here and then drill a little hole on the top of it where the line of his pencil line is, and that will be a starting point for where I have to mark it out outside. Where it is now, this point here should be slightly higher than here. It is, but there isn't too much, so I'm hoping I don't have to cut this out deeper. So what I will do will probably be to raise that packer up. I've just finished that. Because it's on bricks and it's dead flat, I could use a spirit level, which helped tremendously. I've just finished painting it, and next I'm going to see about installing the rest of it in there. That's inside the door, and I used 25 by 3mm aluminium strips to strengthen the side up as recommended by the company. I've also added a vent above the door just to help with any excess fumes, which I very much doubt will happen. I've also included an aluminium angle plate which will have a plastic piece from the toilet bolted to the middle, and which is clamped into the, or clips into the toilet system itself to stop it from falling forward. I have put 2 pieces of racing ply ball mill on that base and on this base, as you can see there. Also, I've put insulation on the top as I'm finally covering some of the areas up. Now, I've only used that 4mm, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's got that melamine cover on it, and it's reasonably cheap. As it's not going to have a shower in it, we decided to just get the cheaper version. And next, I've got to leave that up there for about 24 hours. I've done it last night, so I'll take it off sometime tonight and ready to put the next one up. Okay, what we're going to do now is start cutting into this. I've already started it, but what you need is a piece of old wood with a hole saw, cut it out rather big, and then a hole to take a pencil. I'm using this piece of wood, a scrap piece, to try it on, okay? Instead of wasting good money on good piece of wood. So what you do, you just roll it up here, like that, and keep doing that until it goes right way across. That's the first edge done. What I suggest you do is get a square and make sure that is perfectly square. Then what you can do, you can take the measurements from there to the corners to get the right width of it. Okay, I've put and glued the second piece in, all coming together pretty well. And I've got that other side of the frame up to support it. And the way I supported it was to grab a piece of wood there, screw it in there, temporary screws. I'll take them out later. But I had to get this one up. Also, there was a piece here. I didn't want to cut that out, so I'll be making a little cover for that later. So tomorrow, don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but this is going to stay like this for about 2 days. Here's another side done. The cavity is for hand wash to be filled in later. Use the template you got for the toilet and position it in the cavity to find where we have to cut it out. You won't be able to get too far up, but you can get most of it. You may have seen outside that there was a couple of hole saw marks. Well, put the template up here, mark around it, and what I normally do is just use a hole saw, which is about 60 millimeter diameter, instead of trying to cut it with a jigsaw. That is now the door opening for the toilet finished. Next, I will be doing a little bit more to the base, laying some vinyl. I just installed the vent in the toilet, and also I've laid some lino tiles. In such a short area, it's not worth having anything better. And they're nice tiles, and I've also started doing the alcove for hand cleaners, etc. I have now completed the frame and the toilet. One thing I've done is moved all the 12 volts from now, which will be coming across here, down now, into another panel. The toilet looks pretty good. I've put the light in already. I've covered that piece over. If I can get in, and that's the top. Not too bad. And I'll put an aluminium strip on the bottom too, where the step was. That ends the episode of the frame and the toilet. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. And if you like it, give us a big thumbs up. And thanks for looking.